Nom 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 nom. Where's my volume mixer? I got it. I'm eating some rice right now. Timing's a bit thrown off. It'll be slightly delayed. Nom nom nom. Oh my god. There's stupid things in the merge. Oh wait, never mind. Yeah, I'm doing this wrong again. I need to do that. I'll do it clear later. Oh, God. Exhilarating content for the first 10 minutes. Actually came back exactly 10 minutes. That's pretty cool. Says nobody. But, hello, PG Ocean. You literally haven't missed anything because I've just been spending the past 10 minutes eating. Oh, man. It kind of reminds me of when I first started streaming, like the timings. I don't know the timings. My body doesn't know the timings. And then everything is kind of a mess because I'll get off work by the time I get back. I have to eat dinner and I'll get really tired and I have to grind for another 3 hours. And then I would just not be able to stay awake. But then we put through. And then over time I realized I could take a nap. And taking a nap is also a problem because either I leave work a little bit early and have some extra time to eat. If not, I would nap and I would not be able to eat comfortably, or my eating will interfere with the sleeping, either because of acid reflux, or you'll have too much water and I'll have to keep waking up and going to the washroom. Nowadays it's a bit more stabilized, but only because I basically eat nothing before my nap. I ate one carrot today before I went to take my nap, and I woke up usually nowadays with quite a bit of discomfort. It looks like today is a bit too bad, so I have to eat a bit of rice, just a little bit, just white rice because it's easier to manage and it's fast. And that's where we are today. I feel like this is definitely not sustainable. Hello? What was this doing? Is my internet down? What is this BS? What? Is Twitter down? Or am I down? No. What? Twitter is down? No, I mean, I guess it's not. It's not? What's happening? What is happening? My Firefox is being weird. Very weird indeed. Oh, looks like a browser clear cached kind of thing, but that's gonna lock me out, so it's gonna take a while. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Oh my god. Why is the browser thing in the Firefox? I have no idea where it is. Privacy and security. Stronger protection. Wow, okay, I'm just gonna crash myself. But anyways, let's do that later. Manage browsing data. X.com. Last used 40 seconds ago. Oh, never mind, it's back. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. I just opened up the cookie thing and I scared it back into working, I guess. I mean, if it works, I guess. Anyways, thank you, Duvet. Let me see. Let me see it. Did they draw this card? No, they got this card. Oh. Like, they look like they're pretty big. I wonder if I've seen them before at like some of these events. Who is this? Usamiya. the really loud one, right? I think like it's around this generation of Nijisanji that I kind of just stopped. Is the designer for that VTuber Xenoblade Puzzles and Dragons Border Break. I've heard of a lot of these names, I just don't know the IP at all. I don't know this. I've never seen this. Uba? Naruhodo. interesting. You know, I never thought about it. I guess like I was is not really that interested in like fine arts and stuff, but surely there are like exhibitions over here too, right? It's just that Japan has like a lot of those anime ones, like anime artists and all these artists that we might see on the regular. But if it's like fine arts, I'm sure there are like a few art museums. Are there art museums here in Vancouver? Oh my god. I cannot type with this stupid thing in the way. Yeah. There's a Vancouver Art Gallery. Sorry, a bit of a detour here. I just want to take a quick look. Actually, you know what? There's no point in me taking a quick look because I have no idea what I'm looking at anyways. I have zero knowledge about the fine arts. Where is this? I have no idea what this is. Okay, it says by this place. This is where the anime convention was. Oh, holy shit. What a fucking nerd, am I right? Anime convention. Was it south-south-west? Hey, do I know this place? Oh, is this thing? Oh, I've been here before. I just didn't know what I was looking at. Oh, I see. I want to go back to this. Like, it's not very cheerful when you have to imagine peace. That's not very inspiring. But imagine the thing that gets people's attention is imagine peace, right? My God. I don't know how old these works are, but heavier on the lines, of course. Oh, isn't this like very Western comic book art kind of vibe? I was gonna say like a lot of this heavy lifting I feel like is all the patterns and the different shapes. The rendering itself on like all these empty areas, but then it could also be the case that there's already enough detail that they don't want to go further, but what happens when there's nothing there, right? Like I guess you would just add your own sort of visual detail like this. I don't think I'll ever do this, but it's interesting though. I do kind of like stuff when it's a bit sketchy. Like the sketchier stuff has like some quality that gets lost when you clean it up. Probably that sort of vibes. Okay, what is this website? You get 3 random selections? You just get 3 random ones? Huh. Not secure. I just saw it's not HTTPS, but there's no credentials here. I guess it's fine. And then you can... This is their equivalent of tagging, I guess. How do you go back? Is this the same artist? It is, right? Wait a second. Oh, I see. They are just a random collection? Is this a random collection of art? Well, where am I? Oh, I see. It's a random collection of art. Oh, interesting. Sorry, did I send the link of this artist yet? I guess I didn't yet. We're getting so distracted. I'm gonna send this. I'm gonna send the random website that I found by chance. It's not my intention to be here. But okay. I thought I saw their works. Oh, they do have a page on them. Okay. So this is the artist that you recommended. It's just not... Huh, weird. Oh, I never thought about having like an online gallery of art that I curated myself. I mean, I guess that's what my own website is already doing. My own tool is already doing, but that's an interesting thing to do, I suppose. Gets you more involved and be more like in the sort of more actively looking at stuff. Yeah. Nah, there's no need for me to do that. Like, I think I already kind of have that, right, with the tools, the art map thing. There would be like 6,000 entries in there. There's a good amount of memes. And a good amount of things that you guys are not allowed to see because it'd be not safe for work and blah, blah, blah. So, like, these are really cluttered, I feel like. It's like a lot of stuff happening. Yeah, the lines, especially on these hair strands over here. Definitely like a line person. Like, like, it's kind of obvious with everything else going on. It's just that a lot of these lines that taper off, even if I like all the other stuff, sometimes for myself, I mean, I find this really hard to accept, where you have this just a very long line there. It doesn't have any color, because it's like, trying to show that it gets really thin and all. But the line kind of takes over. It's not as smooth, usually it's texture, and then it's some kind of opacity setting, and it just looks a bit weird to me. I remember this, stream number 74 or something, 70 to 75 or something, where we're drawing that piece for Sonnet. Holy shit, flowers and petals. That was insane. But I guess this is like a lot more. Oh yeah, like definitely like a lot of patience required. Really enjoys that lining process. I feel like this is more of a better balance for me. I really quite like this. Might be the colors doing most of the work though for me. Just take a quick look at the values here. What's my yellow? What's my blue? Thereabouts, blue. Okay. Yellow is higher, blue is not as much, but some parts are merged. That is the same. Going over simple AB. Oh, but these don't have lines. Huh. Mostly characters. I guess the shapes also don't have lines. So it emphasizes the characters pretty nicely across against the shapes. More compositional elements, I suppose. Let me grab this. Where is it? But yes, thank you, Duvet. I think you can spend quite a lot of time looking at this artist. As always. He sure does take a lot of photos with people. Who are they taking pictures with? Oh, Quiz Knock, I see. Working with Quiz Knock. Anyways, I don't know what I'm doing today. I've been getting kind of insanely tired at work, so I know I'm overextending on some stuff. So I think for a period of time, it'll probably just be a little bit more chill, just like random sketches and perhaps just random ideas that pops into my head. Let me start my reference real quick. I was looking at YouTube Shorts. I pretty much only consume YouTube Shorts now, but there was this one thing. I don't know about the message. I don't know what's it talking about. Some typical stuff, I guess. But the art itself, I guess the photo itself is pretty cool. I don't know if it's real or not. I don't know who took this photo. This video has like 0 comments and only 10 likes. It's a pretty interesting comp, I feel like. It's very empty for the most part, but it's still kind of interesting. It reminds me of the one of the pieces I've seen in the past of Arknight's character sitting on a lawn chair. I forgot who drew that piece though, actually. Oh man, I don't know how to find it. What's that artist by the name of something Carrot? Video working again? Come on. Let's see if we can find. Oh yeah. It's gonna be a hard one to find. Never mind. But yeah, I could try to render this. At least just do some quick colors, I suppose. Alright, I don't know what color I'm looking at. What color am I looking at? Crap, it's too tiny in the navigator. I need to make this bigger. lagging. Oh shit, so stupid, dude. Ah. I changed the color thinking it wouldn't lag anymore. It's this brush size, broski. Ah, yes, thank you, Debay. This is interesting, Debay. I'm not sure what's happening here. Is she sleeping? Sleeping? Hang on, let me grab this first. Also, I don't know how the high body temperature thing works. You mean like people there are furries, or just like the characters? Or they do look very warm and stuff. Wait, hang on, let's see. Where's my collection sequence gone? Huh, interesting. Didn't I recently have to do this sequence? Where did I put the other one? Oh man. Huh, wait. I don't know where I put my folder. I think it's still on my old computer, perhaps. Damn it. Did I move everything over? Plus, recently there was the other fan art too on Twitter. And I definitely downloaded it. Oh, it's over here. It's definitely kind of concerning that a lot of things that I should know and be able to remember is just kind of gone. Where? Oh shit, where'd it go? There. They made this. But yes, thank you, Devay. Oh my god. The file's only 61 kilobytes now. I don't know if I got the highest quality one then. Weird. Discord being weird. Doesn't let me see the full image. Copy image. If I open it, it becomes a WebP. Hello, show. But yeah, thank you, Devay. It's an interesting post, I'll say. I can't imagine. I guess I'm still kind of struggling with the pose. I guess the hips are turned. So this is left leg, right? This is left leg in the front, and then that should be the left hand on the back side, and then this is the right arm here. Oh, is that right, Show? You're getting A/B tested, somehow. I don't know if I noticed anything different in the UI. So they're just rolling it out to random people to see how you feel about it. I gotta go find the rest of all the other file and I'll put them in the folder. Oh, let me. I don't have a to-do list for real life. I like this. Not that much though. Huh. Oh, I see. I think I know what you're talking about. It does. Does it look smaller? Oh my god, am I crazy? Like I feel like it didn't change too much. Maybe because I've always just been looking at the main video. Oh, you know why? Because I've just kind of been looking at YouTube Shorts. All I have to do is press down or scroll down, so it makes no difference to me. That's probably why. But yeah, looking at the main pages, they do look kind of small, like the thumbnails. They're probably just testing which one's more effective at getting people to stay on the platform. So either prioritize the main video so people get a better viewing experience. You know, there's like people's whole jobs is to try different things and see if they can get the company more money, which for YouTube's case is for staying, right? Because if you stay constant, I don't know. I would tend to agree that you shouldn't fix anything that's not broken. Which is why they probably also didn't commit to this. Like only selected viewers should be seeing this, I think. Or they have legit data that proves that changing it and making the video player bigger actually got more people to stay. Okay, in which case they can keep it for realsies. We never know unless you have someone working on the specific team for doing this. And then they can tell you like what the decision making is behind it. I don't think that would be top secret or anything. So yeah, unless we have people on the inside, it's kind of hard to know. This looks so dirty here. How did I get the colors I used to get, man? Holy shit. Where are my own pieces? I don't know where I put it. Oh, it's in the slideshow folder right here. What colors are these? I guess it's more aggressively tuned, I think. Probably easier to just keep stacking on colors, honestly. Kind of hard to work with like this. Otherwise. This is the correct one. Just need a different shade, I think. Was I talking about something and I kind of just stopped? I don't remember. Memory does feel like it's starting to become a problem. What color did I use? Oh shit. Hmm. Saturation? Oh, it is saturation. Oh shit, a bunch of messages came through. Sorry, show. I only just saw some of the messages. I like to keep my screen about more than Angsway, and since they made recommendations so small, I physically move forward to see what's going on. Oh, I see. You can always, oh, it's kind of stupid still, right? But you can press control and then scroll up to make it bigger whenever you want to click, and then do the reverse there when, when you're watching videos, I guess. Although some of our websites are constantly on like 150% just because my screen has weird resolution in the past, and I just like it to see a bit bigger. I just like it bigger. Oh, it makes it even more weirder. Sorry, I just saw your next message. Congrats. Like, YouTube, great job. Anyways, sorry for the rant. What's today's agenda? Today's agenda is no agenda. I feel like there is something going on. I feel like because I've been trying to rush out something else, I've just been kind of really overextended. And I kind of been holding on previously, but then as time drags on, right, like the toll kind of stacks up as well. Like today I was so tired at work. I have no idea why. I spent more time sleeping yesterday too. I even take the day off to try and sleep, but I couldn't sleep properly. And there are some other signs that are not very good. Just forgetting a lot of things. I don't know what I was doing. Not to the point of confusion. If confusion kicks in, I'm going to the hospital. Hopefully, I realize that it's happening and now I'll go to the hospital. But how often do I make a new canvas? I think in relation to all these things that we do on stream, not very often. You can see up top here, it's very tiny, you know, after we just talk about all the tiny stuff. This is paint number 12. So essentially, I would just stick to the same document. I'll stick to the same document here until eventually it gets so slow to undo or to save the file. Then I just decide to make a new one. I just don't want like 10,000 files. And especially with like 300 streams, if we make one every time, we'll have like 300 files. And I have no idea what each one does either. Not that I know what each one does now, that to be fair. And it's probably easier to tell if I have separate files, but some of them would just be random junk sketches, and I'll have thousands of them by now if I made a bunch. But yeah, so, but if I were to draw a separate piece, like we might do something more, because I kind of like this reference, right? I kind of like this reference. I love to put a chair for myself, and I put a chair for Ria over here, and then there can be two pieces, right? There can be one piece where it's me and Ria here, and then it can be another piece where it's just me here. And then I will have the chair set out for Ria. And then it will just be empty. And then like we can change the backgrounds, rendering and all that to show that one is a little bit more delusional than the other and so on and so forth. Doesn't it get laggy? It definitely is, gets laggy once in a while. Also, yeah, thank you. Doing a goofy sleeping pose, I see. Thank you, Duvet. What's I talking about? Doesn't it get laggy? It does get laggy if it gets too many layers, I guess. Currently, we're only on... Well, to be fair, we're layer 105-ish, 115-ish, 120-ish, maybe 130. Sometimes the numbers don't really make sense because I would keep some stuff from the previous time. Like, you can see all these layers at the top I will be keeping throughout the paint files, quote-unquote, because I'm keeping my notes in here. Or at least I used to keep my notes in here. I think, actually the last one that we wrote a whole ton of things about, I forgot to upload it. Actually, I do have to upload this. Thank you for the reminder that you probably didn't mean to, but this I need to drag out, because one day I need to come back and extract out all the information to the other documents so that I can keep track of it. But yeah, anyways. Do I have a beefy PC? It is decent. It is pretty decent. Like right now it's 5070 with 32 gigs of RAM. It is pretty decent. Even the one before, it was a 2070 Super. So it's by no means like a weak PC. Especially when I got the 2070 Super, right? Back that was like 2019. So that was like, you know, top few-ish still, at least. I mean, kind of like what 5070 is today, I suppose, in the current market. Yeah, apologize for not seeing your messages for like 7 minutes. YouTube really doesn't like to load things in properly sometimes. Sometimes I would just like come over here to the chat and I'll scroll up and down just to force it to refresh the newest messages. Sometimes that's not enough still though. And then it's kind of annoying, I have to say. If only things would just work the way they're intended to, but they never do. But the problem is, like, I also kind of understand the complexity of some of these things behind the scenes, so I also can't really complain too much. It is kind of insane if you know some of the tech and the structure, sort of, how do I say, the hardware requirements, the latency requirements, the consistency requirements behind all these really big tech companies and their softwares. Hundreds of millions of users across the entire globe, and everything has to sync up, and that's really insane. But I digress. Still, YouTube, do a better fucking job. Yeah, I'm a user. I get to complain. Yeah, let's go. I'm not a developer this time. Hell yeah. I don't know what I want here, which is kind of going back and forth. I kind of like how colorful the other one was, but the other one was a lot better executed because I had all the different shadows and stuff on separate layers, and that makes it a lot easier to control. Right now, I kind of am just painting. $1 trillion company. I think some of these are like well, yeah, you're right. I mean, like, I don't know how much of it is actually infrastructure related, which means you can solve with just money, and how much of it is algorithm and sort of theoretical limits related. Because surely there's some kind of a limit where at some point the technology, like the infrastructures, the computers, even if you have 5090s everywhere, is still not enough to handle it. Actually, to be fair, 5090 by their standards is probably kind of not a very useful card. They probably need something very dedicated, just for servers and stuff. I don't really know, like in the case of this chat, right? Man, I should be able to answer these things like chop chop, because this is the kind of questions you get at like programming interviews. One of the 3 things anyways. You're supposed to know these things by heart. Of course, nobody ever does. And I suppose it's maybe not that right to expect everyone to know it by heart either, but supposedly, allegedly, you're supposed to know all of these things. Oh, you know what? That is absolutely a thing. A lot of my videos, like playlists and stuff. Well, not my playlist, but other people's playlists that I've been playing. It's just it is having a lot of problems because every time it tries to load in something, it's waiting for 5 seconds because it doesn't like the ad blocker and this and that. Also, there's always the irony of like a YouTuber using ad blocker, you know. But I guess I'm not making videos now, so I get to do that without be less of a hypocrite. Just a little bit less. Just a little bit less of a hypocrite. Come on. Oh shit, she disappeared. I think it's interesting, this piece, because at a glance, you know, you would think like the wolf is the self-insert, right? But throughout the years, it's always been the other way around, I think. Ria would have been the wolf, and then I would have been the kid. This is the opposite. So maybe now it would be different. Maybe, I don't know. Not yet, perhaps. I just need to work a bit harder for this. We're still a little bit away, huh? The colors feel a little bit more harmonious now. I don't really know about this wolf, though. It looks a little bit off to me. Mhm. There must be a like a more scientific reason why like people like they keep doing stupid shit that hurts themselves and this and that, but I guess the simpler answer would just be money, I suppose. Am I just too dark or what? Am I just too dark? That's fine then. Unless I see YouTube shorts about what, like if I were this rich, I would do X, Y, and Z. And I feel like I would do the same thing, you know. I would, if I were this rich, if I were Elon Musk, I would do X, Y, and Z. I don't know, set up animation studios that pay people properly and this and that. I wonder if the existing sort of generation of really rich people just don't have thoughts like this, or is it just because when you get rich, you just don't care anymore? Or something. Because like, let's say for example, like parenting, right? The old generation, they themselves get you know, what would be considered physical abuse nowadays, right? They get beaten, they get shouted at. So when they grow up, they tend to not do that to their own kids. Maybe it's one of these kind of things where like the older generation, due to whatever upbringing that they had, just never really consider or just cannot accept doing stuff like that. Maybe for our generation, when people get rich, well, that's not true though. It's a bunch of rich young people too. I don't know. Maybe it is the money that corrupts. Mhm. Yeah, like tech is I guess this 30-second thing is interesting because we can have two separate conversations at the same time. Because you'll be, by the time I'm giving the response to this, you'll be hearing my previous response, previous rant about another topic. And then when you type the response to that, you will then hear the response to this. Because you know. A bit more in the future. That's kind of interesting. I don't know, man. Like tech, like programming is simultaneously, because there's so many factors involved, I guess. Whether if the guy that's coding actually does proper work and this and that. Because you can give enough credit or give not enough credit, and it just kind of goes back and forth so easily. I wonder how I should paint over this, because I have to paint over this. So I guess I should find the eyes first if I were to do this properly. With what though? Solid brush? Anyways. Maybe like right now this kind of mentality is required because I'm just so burnt out to be able to sort of hold myself to the usual sort of in like, I don't know, academic rigorousness or something. When I'm trying to sort of be more hands-on with this and that, that and this. But like nowadays I'm just too tired. But maybe being this loose kind of helps me right now because I can just kind of come in and play. Like right now I'm just kind of doing whatever. I don't know what I'm doing. It just feels natural to do this. Maybe this is what's required to finally break through some of the some of the issues that we had. So I'm sure this experience is gonna be helpful somehow. Opium, probably, maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Yeah. I'm just gonna, yeah, she has like her own sort of entourage of wolves that kind of follow her. You know, let's keep it simple, right? me and you in a world. Oh my god. How nice, Ria. You get a big fuzzy hug. Oh shit, I did the wrong order. I forgot to do the white part of the eye. So it doesn't have to be white. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Affect everything on a piece, so we choose a specific. It affects everything below it. Unfortunately, you cannot just have it affect just like a specific couple of layers just by default. You have to do some weird manipulation and adjustments. But it's always like there's a limit to how much you can do, right? Because what you're seeing right now is the combination of everything, every single layer, like what they have and what they don't have, right? And then compiled into the final image that you see. But if I want to say just change the color of these shadows here, for example, the color that I'm seeing right now on these shadows is a combination already of existing stuff. So while the actual shape of the shadow, for example, is over here, I can select, you can see the selection here because it's a very specific layer right here. The colors on top affected as well. So I guess the best thing we can do is to do a selection like this and then put a new layer and have this as a clipping mask. Now it only affects this area, but you will still affect the lines, for example. You will still affect other colors that might be there. So there is a limit to how much you can do it. So in general, it just does kind of affect everything below. It's just kind of how it is. So to some extent, like there are certain things that you cannot avoid, sort of painting and redrawing and all that. Yeah, put this all on the same layer, yeah, okay, because I'm bloody genius. This is gonna come back and bite me in the ass, but if it does, I'll just have to repaint it. It's fine. It is what it is. Actually, this layer kind of holds the face together for a little bit. Well, I sort out all the colors and shit underneath, and then probably do yet another paint over after everything on top. It's just a clean set of lines, I guess, for the face. In the usual process, if this were the usual process, that is. Oh, the neck is here. Oh, I missed the mark, didn't I? Oh man. Someone at work. Oh my god, there's been a couple people retiring at work already. And one of them is really young. He's only like 30 something. Apparently he maintains his own GitHub repo that's quite popular, to say the least. We don't know if that's the reason why he's retiring, but I'm sure that played a hand. But honestly, he feels like the kind that will be holding crypto, so I guess it makes sense. In my head at least, in my head canon, he probably holds a bunch of crypto and he's made like enough money from that. My dude is retiring. He's been in the company shorter than I am, I guess. I don't know why he is even there, I guess. But maybe, yeah, no, but the market run-up has been recent, so maybe he only just made enough money recently. That would also make sense, I guess. I kind of get stressed out sometimes just thinking about it, because it's like, there've been multiple chances. Instead of doing art, if I had just focused on, like, making money, I wonder if I would have been able to just retire already by now. And then pursue this thing, you know, with a better base. Sometimes it feels like I'm making suboptimal decisions, but again, you never really know if you can or cannot make it. Gotta do my chat refreshing just to make sure. So this is the main hole on this. The vibes changed a little bit actually, because I made the face a little bit more angular. It's just literally this line here. These two lines technically, but let me just do this. I don't know if I like this that much though. Definitely need a bit more space here. Yeah, sure, for sure. Like whatever that you choose to do in the future, you gotta make sure it makes money. That is the most simple, like the most, what's the word? Like real, the only real thing. Everything requires independence, financial independence. It's a true independence. Is to be financially independent. That's not to say that you should give everything up to do it though. Some things need to be done in order. But as far as life goes, pretty much it's just money. It's pretty much just money. Money, money, money. How do I want to handle this? Yeah, but that's the thing with privilege, right? You never know. You don't feel the privilege that you have. Right? Like for us, getting a roof over our heads, getting warm water, hot water to shower with, a bed to sleep in, that is our privilege, right? In a way. We don't really see it that way. We see it as something normal because we're born into it. That's what we're expecting to have. To them, it's the same thing. It's just insane wealth. Money doesn't buy happiness. So and so and so. But not having money is definitely not gonna it's gonna make you unhappy. That's for sure, right? So money, money, money. Money, money, money. Give me money. Don't give me money, guys. It's fine. We'll figure this out. What is the math on this thing? So we have like shadows where? Here-ish, I guess. I'm gonna find the shapes a little bit more first before I jump in and start going over the lines. I think that's a bit too early. That's a bit later. The dog doing? The dog's doing whatever she wants the dog to be doing. I don't even know where the light source is. I don't know what the light is doing. It seems to be coming from this corner, but I don't know how it works. What am I trying to say? I'm kind of happy that it's not copy striking this music. It is a sort of instrumental remix of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory's what's it called? Pure Imagination. It's a great song. The various versions by the various actors that played Charlie. Not Charlie. Freaking Willy Wonka. God damn it. Yes, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. A story about when Charlie has a store in the Chocolate Factory. What? Oh my god. One of these days I'm just gonna sit here and do nothing. That'd be great. Do nothing at all. Oh, the frame. Alright. Well, do I want the frame? Maybe for now. Slowly find the forms. Seems a little dark though on the face. The bright doesn't feel bright enough. I want it to be soft, so the contrast naturally has to be kind of low. But it has to be soft on the brighter side rather than on the darker side. I think right now it's still on the brighter side, but it's not necessarily clear enough. We'll just keep adding more stuff here, I guess. What is this? What is this? Did I make two new layers? Holy shit. Yeah, I keep making new layers. I see it, I'm pressing the wrong button. Is it doing anything? Why does it feel like it cannot go the way I want it? What do I want it to do, actually? Just that? So some of the values need to go in now. Some of them have to wait for the final glow that I want to add. Because once I do the final airbrush in, it's also going to change the values a little bit. Kind of hard to know where the balance is right now. It doesn't look so different on my thing. Oh, it's still brighter though. I suppose. Yeah, maybe I'll save it for later. I think... Because I have to keep in mind as well that if I paint, right, like... I like hard edges, so it's gonna be hard edges. And... hard edge kind of implies that there's a bit of contrast so that you can see the edge. And I want to maybe tone that down later with the glow together as well. So maybe not doing it now, I can save it for later. But if I do it now and the values are correct, then we just have it already, and I'll just paint that. Wait, what? No difference, I guess. Just follow your heart. Okay, just follow. I'll just not do it now then, I guess. Just keep going first. I don't know how to paint the forms on the bed sheet. Honestly, this one is probably one of those best to be kept like rough, because I cannot find the edges correctly. So it will just end up looking kind of weird. All the all the forms are gonna look really weird and unnatural. So keeping it this way might be the best. Ugh. What do you think is the best way to sorry, what? Not just copying about something, that's how you say it work. You mean like, do I think this is the best way to learn about values? You mean like what I'm doing right now? What do you think? Is this the best way? Oh. I'm not learning anything by the way right now. I mean, okay, so how do I say this, right? Like the answer to your question is, first question is this the best way? I don't know. I think people learn differently. For me right now, I'm currently not trying to learn anything, so I can't really comment on that accurately. As for the second question, I'm just that is a yes, right? Like, but the same answer, it will always be yes, even if you change it to something else other than values. Learning is about sort of half of it, I think, would be to see what other people have done, like people that you like, pieces that you like. You see what those pieces have done or what the others have done in them. Then the other half would be to apply it to your own stuff, which could either mean trying to use the same set of colors or values in your own piece, or trying to just draw whatever. Because as you're drawing, like right now as I'm drawing, I'm trying to solve the problem of what kind of color and value that I want, right? And while I'm not referencing anything, I don't really recall anything off the top of my head. But it's forcing me to apply, and it's forcing me to go through that process by myself. And so that's why, like, I don't know if it's necessarily a best or not a best, but I feel like it's a very integral part of the process. Like, you have to, at some point, come in and just do your own thing. And not be worried about if it's, like, the best or if it's correct. I usually wouldn't be able to do that. But I'm just, you know, as I mentioned before, just too tired to think. So I'm just allowing myself to do this, which I would normally consider a waste of time, because I feel like, you know, if you want to learn things, you should be a little bit more hands-on and be a little bit more aware of what's happening, this and that. But today it's just brain dead, AFK. So, you know, I think it's good. I think, like, thinking about it now, I think it's good. I think it's just gonna, you know, you should probably have to do, like, you will probably have to do something like this. A lot of, I did a lot of studies in the past too, right? But I never really applied them. And as a result, they don't really stick around a lot, the knowledge. Knowledge. But now at least I get to apply. I don't know what I'm applying, by the way. I'm not really thinking about anything in particular. So it's really hard to say. But I feel like it's the right way to do it. Also, I feel like my wolf is too small. Probably much bigger like this. Many things to do. It's a bit cleaner now. The problem with this piece, I think, is like some of the most important parts of the piece would be the interaction of the fur on the wolf with Ria herself. There needs to be fur on her face, there needs to be fur over her arms. And so on and so forth. And that part requires a decent amount of rendering to happen, because you need to see cleaner and clearer and more hard-edged edges as it kind of goes over the face and all that. But regardless, I think at least most of it is kind of here. And you can keep this in later, maybe a bit more on the top here. It's too dark. Oh. Is this better? I don't know. I don't know. Stay on that. Okay, let's make it a bit brighter then. That's my painting layer. Oh, it's here. Right. Yum, yum, yum. Check. Oh, this is still not bright enough. Not close enough. Shouldn't this be done at the bottom? Actually, why am I doing it on this layer? It is whatever, I guess. The decay is happening, but it's not as fast as that. No, it's about the same. Also, that's no estimate. It's fine then. What does the year? What the year doing? No, the year shouldn't even be visible. The year shouldn't even be visible. What am I doing? It's just completely behind the neck here. Consumed. Goodbye, year. Yoink. Wait, what? Oh. So there'll be a bunch of fur over here that's gonna cover up the face and the hair a bit. And then now maybe the harder edges can come in. Now feels like a good time. That being said, I just realized I probably need a brush that has both like hard edges like this, but also some kind of blurring maybe. If I just turn on the ink on this, maybe it will help. Does this help? But I need the edges though. What do I need this for again? Why do I need to turn on the blending? What was I thinking about? I don't know what I was thinking about. Let's just keep this off for now. I don't know what I'm doing right now. Although this kind of has to go over the lines. Is it time to go over the lines yet? I guess. I mean, most of the stuff is in here, right? I think I need to find this eye first, though. Yeah. What am I doing? Let's see. Do I need to make this lighter? Maybe let's make it a bit lighter, because it's gonna interfere. I cannot see things right now. this guy. Just a little bit lighter. Because the other one... Oh, I took over entirely, so that's fine. Just use the same color. Unless it's too bright. Okay, never mind. I go straight to the edge then. Just do this. I don't know if it's correct perspective actually. Actually, we have no reference for this at all, so this could be wrong. The only requirement really is to just have it feel like it's looking at us, but other than that, like, yeah. You know what? Actually, this might be one of those cases where it's probably easier to use the original here. And then just refine, just refine the edges. Because some of these sketches, they would carry a little bit of that vibes with them. And if you start changing and messing around with it, it would just be gone, right? So you might as well just keep it. Where'd it go, dude? What? Oh, it's on Hard Light, broski. I just work with this then, I guess. Oh. Kind of big, though. Yeah, but if I do that, the shape changes. It's still kind of okay. I mean, for what this is, I think it's good enough. The other one sequence it that way. I would ideally not do it, but then it's already started this journey. What color did I use last time? Oh, they're all. Oh, the eyes are closed. Congrats. The eyes are always closed. Dang it. I think I put all my shit on my own website, so on the rare occasion, my actually own website might be useful here. Because I don't have the other files available. But they are always... Oh no, never mind. I use the same set of files that I have on hand. Okay, never mind. It doesn't have it. Oh, what about these ones? Oh, I use blue. Somehow I got the feeling that it was a little bit blue. Do I want to keep it up though? Okay, you know what? This one should be done underneath. Bit easier to adjust if I have to. So 1, 2, 1, 2. どこ？これか？エナラミぼかし。これ違うんだよね。My screen is black. Okay. Texture. Koreka. Can't see shit. This thing is meant to emulate fur when you do it like this. You just kind of see it. Oh, it's probably only acting on this layer. That means if I want to use it, I need to merge everything. Okay. Splendid. Wonderful. I'm just gonna paint then. That's a good way to paint this. Definitely not like this. Perhaps too early, I think. That's shoulder. This, right? Maybe this should be a bit more tame here. I think the arms are too small, actually. Are they too small? This. So like this. Maybe not. Maybe a little bit short. Just a little bit short, perhaps. Stretch it here, stretch it here. Maybe just a little bit. Because this will be flat on the ground. So some distance there does not count. Also, where's my dew claw? Any colors here? You should read the other one. There's no fixed number. Actually, I don't even know if these wolves are real. I don't even know if they're real or not. In my head, I feel like for her to kind of continue having her own story, everyone else needs to not be here. So I don't know. My own head canon version of her in the future, she is kind of lonely, and it's just the wolves that she has with her. And to some extent, I feel like the wolves are not actually very real, like not like actual real wolves, but some kind of manifestation of her own will. And this is partly, I think, more lonely because in the sense that they're not real, right? But also less lonely because if it's a manifestation, then it's always with her. And I think it would also be an interesting parallel against how I'm viewing her right now. So maybe it's just not real and that she can have as many as she wants to have. Which I don't think it'll be very many, honestly. I don't think it'll be very many. So far, there's only, like, all the stuff that I did in the past. There were only 2, right? They're kind of legit. Which are the one white one and one black one. I say black, but it's mostly darker gray. Because, well, I can say whatever I want to say, but it's just that whenever I draw the values, I always closer to darker gray just because it's really hard to render something completely black on in the canvas and not have it be just the center of attention, because then it would just end up being the highest contrast. No matter what, but there's only these 2 small ones that yeah, actually I don't know how it fits. I don't know how they all fit together. I don't know what kind of timeline. I don't know if these, like, say this guy grows up to become this. Right, even herself, her age is also kind of unstable, so I have no idea at this point. It's a good question, though. I think it's a great question. How these things need to be answered. Well, I mean, if the jungle is like a concrete jungle, then I think that fits my image of her. I don't have a lot of experience with. Well, actually, that's not true. I did spend a good amount of time in the forest in the past. I don't like it. I got my hands cut open, my entire hand cut open by thorns before. Man, thorns are so sharp, dude. You don't even feel like they're supposed to be that sharp, right? You think they're pointy, and they're gonna like poke you? Yeah, that makes sense, right? But I wasn't expecting to slice my hand open. That's kind of insane. I was wearing gloves too. But anyways, I digress. I don't know. For her, this stylization too right now is actually kind of quite different, I feel like. She's so much younger all of a sudden. Like, the face isn't very, like, not as lolly as it would usually be. I think, like, for like other people's styles that I've seen, at least, it will squish the eyes a lot more. But this shoulder is so tiny. I don't really like stylization like that. I mean, I don't dislike it because of the incident. But I do dislike it because there's a good amount of experiences in the jungle rolling around the mud and stuff like that. And I think there's a lot of interesting stories that I might be able to tell one day, I think. There are times where, like, you know, like, there are superstitions saying that you shouldn't block mountain paths for whatever thing, for whatever reason, with whatever thing. We kind of did that, and we all got cursed, actually. Every one of us fell sick in different ways. One guy almost died. But anyways, all these interesting close calls and stories. One day, perhaps. I think one day. In a way, Ria has been there the whole time, I think, throughout all of these incidents. This really is flipped. This really is flipped. It's not as clean as I would like it to be, and I can still continue here, of course, but it definitely feels like a closing in makes me ultra rare. I think like the good part of environment artists do like cityscapes and stuff, which is what I will fall under. I like cities. I like the concrete jungle, right? At the end of the day, I guess it's the complexity of it all that gets us. Even in the most simple scenes, I feel like it's pretty complex. But curse and stuff, my take is kind of interesting. I believe curses are real, but I don't believe they're real in the physical sense. I believe they're real in your heart. If you sort of believe in ghosts, if you believe in curse, if you believe in bad things are gonna happen, it exists within you, right? And as a result of this existing within you, certain things might tend to happen, or you might notice certain things a little bit more, and as a result, it gives you that feeling, and to you, it's very real. Makes the curse very real, right? That's how I feel it. I don't think, like, say for example, someone else believing that this is a curse. If you do this, you're gonna get cursed. I don't believe that I would get cursed if I do this thing. I think that if they do it, they will get cursed. But if I think I do it, I wouldn't get cursed, because I don't believe in that. I believe it exists within each person. And that's the first half of the belief. The second half of the belief is that I believe that there is a general immunity for myself to kind of fall into all these other more superstitious problems, because in a sense, Ria is my curse, right? Because for whatever that I do, anything that I think of, she's always there. If you see it this way, it's also kind of like she's like this ghost that's been haunting me forever. So to some extent, I feel like, you know, I've already been cursed. Yeah, sure, maybe you can curse me, but you have to get in line. You have to get in line behind Ria, and that's gonna take a while. She's gonna take a while as she works through me, right? So I have some comfort in her, from the supernatural in her, just because of this. I feel like she's kind of taken up that spot. And if you look at some of the stuff that I feel like the way that I behave, sometimes I feel like it is kind of like a curse. Because I am just so stuck on this whole idea of bringing her to life that you know, you guys see me getting sick and this and that, because I just don't care about anything else. I cannot really think about anything else. It's really hard for me to pry myself away from doing this thing, even if I know that I should probably go back to bed and rest a little bit more. So in a sense, you know, there is that. We'll see how this curse get resolved over time, I suppose. So not just pure placebo and coincidence, but they actually manifested in that even a non-believer would be surprised with the story. Yeah, I suppose. I mean, essentially what I'm saying is like everyone's curse only affects themselves. So if they believe in it strong enough, if they somehow get affected by it physically in a way that other people can perceive, then yes, I guess, right? It's like person A saying that they believe that they're gonna die in like 10 days because of A, B, C, D, E, F, G reasons, and if they actually die in 10 days, that effect is gonna then spread to the next person that sees it. Now the other person that sees it kind of gets cursed because they have this notion and idea entrenched in them. It's kind of like a virus. There's a lot of parallels in like in the universe, in nature, that you can kind of spot over time as you just, you know, live on the earth, right? You see different patterns here and there. Like for example, stock market, there are periods where they sort of trend up and the period where they sort of trend down. But within the trend, you have ups and downs too, right? Kind of like art. Sometimes you're trending up, but then within the trending up, you feel like yourself getting better, but you still feel like, oh, there are bad days and good days. But sometimes you just absolute dog shit, right? Just completely collapsing. You're like fucking market crashing all the way down. There are some interesting trends like these. And of course, a lot of these might just be perception based. It's not actually like that. But I feel like this idea of a virus spreading, right? A disease sort of spreading, you can kind of see it in the memes spreading, in certain other non-disease sort of physical phenomena. For example, there was that video I watched recently about basically chemical compounds, right? You have your chemical symbols and all that, and then based on those symbols, you can form a molecule. But the molecule, just because it has the same sort of chemical composition, doesn't necessarily mean the physical structure is the same. And depending on the different physical structures, you will get different physical properties. And in medicine, that is a big deal, because whether if it sort of dissolves in half an hour or 3 hours, it affects the patient heavily, right? And there's this HIV medicine called Ridinol or something, Ridinair. But essentially, they were producing it in a physical form that was usable. But then at some point in time, due to some kind of freak accident or some kind of phenomena, it started transforming into a different form. And this different form had a very different physical property. And as a result, the medicine's effectiveness is completely zero. So, and then because once you, like, for example, like crystals, a lot of things like in crystals, if you have nothing, if it's like a pure, consistent sort of textured material, it doesn't sort of crystallize. But if once you have like a speck of dust in it, it starts to crystallize and all that. So this new form started causing other old forms to sort of change into this new form, and it spread it like a disease across the entire factory, and then eventually brought over to a different, entirely different continent, because the scientists try to figure out why it doesn't work in my country. They go to a different country, they brought it over with their notes in their notebook or something like that. And it's very interesting. You see a lot of these kind of parallels across everything. So maybe curse is like one of these things, you know. It only affects the individual, just to bring everything back, right? It's a big tangent about nonsense, but maybe curse is like kind of the same thing, where it just spreads from person to person. It's like a belief that spreads. That's why I think having your own belief system is very powerful, right? Because you're sort of, in a sense, immune to bullshit like this, right? If you have your own sort of way to make a value judgment, if your own sort of way to sort of determine if things are real or false, like misinformation and stuff like that, then you wouldn't just believe everything you see on the internet, because you have your own structure in place. But anyways, Ria is kind of like that structure. First people I witnessed your experiment creep me out. And some weird places. If good exists, evil, like in terms of like religion, I think this might be maybe be a little bit more contentious perhaps, but I think we're all fine here. Is that I don't really believe in a god, because I don't really see it anywhere. I only see good people doing good things and bad people doing bad things. People like to attribute it to different things, and I completely understand that. That's exactly what I'm doing right now with Ria, and I see the hypocrisy, right? Because Ria is basically my own religion. I do everything for her. I do everything because I need to get this thing sorted out. So I also see the hypocrisy in this, but at the same time, I also recognize that whatever that I have achieved is with my own two hands, right? It's not like she physically sat here and made me do certain things. I don't know. Good and evil, I don't really know if that even that exists. Honestly, at the core of it, I see people doing selfish things. That's all I see. Whether if it's good, whether if it's bad, it's all based off some kind of their own personal needs and wants. If they want to do good, they want to see people feel good, and when people feel good, they feel good. That is still a selfish thing, but they're doing good stuff objectively. I don't know, good and evil. I mean, like yeah, like I had this conversation before, because once you bring everything down to this sort of quote unquote selfish ideal, everybody is selfish. Then there's nothing. There's nothing anymore. There's no good. There's no evil. There's nothing. Like the words themselves don't mean anything anymore. So within the context of there being sort of everyone's being selfish, there can still be good and evil, I guess. There are people that tends to do better stuff that benefit the greater good, and the people that do more selfish things that benefit only themselves, I guess. I don't know if I'm making any sense. Sometimes I start going on a rant, and then I can't quite see where I'm going with my own sort of ideas, and it gets kind of everywhere. But I guess things are what you make it out to be in this world. Dang, Ria. I remember distinctly as a kid though, like I wasn't really afraid, too afraid at least, of like the supernatural. My house would make a lot of weird noises, like there's a lot of creaking noises. You can hear marbles dropping, you can hear doors opening and closing and all that. And I know like that is upstairs neighbor, right? Like my upstairs neighbor. But to some extent, it's still kind of freaky if you just hear the sounds and you think about it and all that. But the notion that I always had in my head was that if there were like a ghost, then we can just be good friends, you know? We don't have to be enemies, right? It doesn't have to be a scary thing. We could just be friends. Wouldn't that be nice? More friends? I wasn't that lonely, by the way. I'm not trying to... I realized how this sounds after I say it. Like, holy shit, this guy has no friends, dude. He's trying to make friends with ghosts. They're kind of funny, actually. Oh, man. Good times, good times. This goes over. Maybe not yet. Maybe one more cycle. This one is just to get the lines a little bit more straightened out. Yeah. I feel like because of Ria, there's always some kind of comfort somewhere. No matter what is the truth, right? If there's no good and there's no evil, there's no God, there's no this and that, then she's also like just a figment of my imagination. I guess that's fine. That's kind of how it is right now. But if there is a hell and a heaven and all that, then I guess there'll be, I can take some solace in the fact that, you know, maybe she can go to heaven. She hasn't done anything wrong. Maybe I get a chance to meet her if I die or something. That would be nice. Some kind of closure, perhaps. I feel like in my last moments in my life, I probably hallucinate. I probably hallucinate her. I think that's probably what would be happening. I know I sound kind of insane right now. But this is no different from the usual me, honestly. This is how I always think. Nothing's really changed. Hey, that would be nice. Wouldn't that be nice? That'd be so nice. Maybe that is too nice. I'm not afraid of darkness alone, but afraid I'm not. Yeah, actually, fear of darkness is the fear of the unknown. It's actually not necessarily the darkness. It's not like you look at the color black and you're like scared, right? You're just not sure what is out there. That's kind of makes you that's what you're afraid of. You're not sure if there's something there with you. You feel like maybe there might be and stuff like that. So like unknown essentially also kind of boils down to a fear of not being in control, I guess. Not having autonomy. So sometimes you can control your fears a little bit more by just assuming a situation to be true and then figuring out what you should be doing in that situation, right? What if you're not alone? Then what should you be doing? Are you going to make friends with the ghost? Right? Or are you going to just turn around, run? And then once you have that sort of thing sequenced inside your head, it becomes a little bit more manageable, the fear and whatever thing, like sort of negative emotions. This is basically my own coping mechanism from the past, right? This is how I would do everything. Anything that I hate, I don't want, I sequence everything out. That's why I always say sequencing is because it's a legacy that's brought over from the past from this kind of nonsense. But it gives you a little bit more control back in your sort of your own two hands. And you become a little bit more confident and more capable, right? You don't want to get locked up. You don't want to get locked up by fear if a situation actually happens. So you just kind of go through that process first by yourself. I don't know how normal this is, but it worked pretty well. So this part here, I don't know what to do, by the way. Amuse, huh? Is that what amuse mean? I don't really see that word used in real life. It's mostly like a play kind of thing, I guess. A Shakespearean play kind of vibe to me. I don't really like theater. Not that I really know what it's about, but I feel people... It's like very dramatic. It always looks kind of fake to me. I get the acting is meant to just be like that, but I suppose. Horror shows and go hunting stuff? Yeah, sure. I can relate. I think in the past, I always thought that I was not gonna be afraid. But I was, right? I was. And yet I'm still drawn back to those things. And as a result, there are like nights where I just freak myself out, right? I will close my eyes and this face will pop up. It's actually Jeff the Killer from one of those creepypastas. Is Jeff a dude? I guess it is. But like Jeff the Killer, his face would just pop out whenever I close my eyes. You know, it's not a great time when you're in the showers. Where you're most vulnerable and you have to wash your hair. Wow, that is bad, dude. But then I mentioned this once before on stream, is that I did a mental exercise where I created a box. And then, I created a room first. I created a room for myself. Actually, it was for my Taupa. Don't look at what the Taupa is. I would have a room. And then on this room, there's a bookshelf. And on this bookshelf, I created a space for this box that I called the ghost box. And I would just imagine myself opening this empty box. And I'll put all these scary things. I will imagine a scary thing and I'll put it in the box. I'll imagine scary things, put it in the box. Then I close the box, I lock it up, I wrap it up with like chains or whatever, and I put it on a top shelf. And then ever since that happened, like I did that one night, I stopped getting scared anymore. I'm sure you probably overcome your stuff by now, but just in case, you know. And so still on maybe a thing you can try if you're still having issues. I tried doing memory palace stuff like that as well, but I find memory palace back then at least, it was kind of pointless because I just remembered the stuff I needed to remember. Why do I need to do an extra exercise just to remember things that I already remember? Maybe nowadays it would have been more helpful. But it would add too much overhead to the daily sort of day-to-day. To sit down and meditate, broski? Well, I guess that would help though. That would help in everything. How do I show her body here? I need to show the forms somehow. Oh yeah, nightmares? I feel like I've only really had like good dreams like twice in my life. Most of my other dreams has just been getting chased. Because I always feel like I'm not doing enough things. I always feel like life is just... I'm just getting by, and I'm not achieving anything, and I'm wasting it all away. So I keep feeling I'm getting chased. There were dreams where I got buried underneath, like, I was in the pyramids for some fucking reason. It's like a really narrow corridor. Like, you couldn't stand kind of corridor. It's like crouch level. You have to, like, you know, be crouching, and you're just, like, crouch walking through the tunnel. And I got buried. I think I got shot in the head a couple of times. I definitely got stabbed a couple of times. Got run over by a tank once. Can't really remember the rest. I think recently it's been getting a lot better. It's been getting a lot better just because we're actually getting better at art, you know. I feel like I'm actually changing the course of my life. As much as I would like it to go even faster, you know, but at least things are moving, so it's been a lot better. I think the most interesting part about all this nonsense is that Ria herself never really appeared in my dreams. And I think that goes to show like the sort of my own sort of disposition towards the whole situation is that despite how insane sometimes like when I'm talking about certain situations, I guess at the root of it all, I still know that this is not real. I know that this is just a mental construct, and that I should not over-invest into it or something, or I feel like I should not over-invest to it. Which I don't know if it's a good thing or not. If in a sense, it feels kind of sad that I never even I can't even sort of enjoy my own like, you know, dream about like a situation. But I suppose in some sense it also shows that I may be a little bit more still be in control, you know, like I'm not like completely out of it. I don't know. Falling off a cliff, yeah, I don't have that. Falling off a cliff. Reminds me of a kid who fell off a cliff. Wait, who was that? That's like a VTuber or YouTuber that I watched in the past or something. They fell off a cliff and they actually walked off. Yeah, vertigo. Oh yeah, like those dreams where you feel like you're dropping and then you just kind of wake up. Yeah, I haven't had those in a while. There was like someone was trying to explain why you feel that. I kind of forgot what that was, or like why what they said it was supposed to be. And on the topic of sleep, I think I've also only got sleep paralysis once. Or rather, I've met my sleep demon only. Wait, no, I don't think I met the demon actually. No, I don't think I did. I think I probably got sleep paralysis more than once, but there's only one time that I remember. I was talking to a coworker the other day, and apparently he only ever got like sleep paralysis in this one very specific parking lot in his home country. So he would drive around the place, and sometimes back when he was a university student, he would have to sleep in his car. And he will sometimes go to this one parking lot, and every time he's at the parking lot when he sleeps, he will always get sleep paralysis. And you know, it's interesting like situations like these happen because if you think about the people in the past, right, they have no explanation for stuff like these. And with how consistent things are, if you think about it logically, all of a sudden it's like, oh, this place must be cursed, right? So folklores, like mythology, all these things make a lot of sense when you think of it like this. It's just unexplained phenomena that people somehow is able to consistently replicate, but have no explanation for it. I remember like there was this course that I took in university, which is about like the history of science, right? In the past, people thought that people didn't really understand how sort of chemistry works. So there's like this thing called the phlogiston, which I kind of forgot what it was supposed to be. But the thing that has stuck with me is that no matter how great the scientist was back then, like even Isaac Newton, whenever they get to something that they cannot explain anymore, they just incite God. They would just be like, oh, you know, Newton came up with the laws of gravity, right? But the laws of gravity is a more sort of general rule, and he didn't really have the sort of I think structure in place to explain stuff like the was it like the three body problem or some kind of movement with Mercury that they were observing. So he couldn't explain the orbit. And then at that point he couldn't figure it out. He just incited God. He said like some things are just meant to be it's just not meant to be known or something like that. And then you move on like a couple hundred years, and then you go on to like, is it, I forgot which other famous scientist. It might have been Einstein, not Isaac Newton, Einstein himself or something. Then they would further the sort of, I guess the progress of science. But whenever they get to something else that they got stuck on, eventually they turn to like religion and God again. They will mention it. It's kind of interesting. I don't have like all the exact sort of information in my head anymore, so there's a good chance it might be wrong and this and that. But I vaguely remember something like this, and I thought it was really interesting back then. And that course was absolute bullshit, by the way. The professor wrote his own textbooks, and he tested on his own fucking textbooks. Like, okay, yeah, thanks. And then we figured out that he apparently doesn't ever change the questions ever. So we kind of just went to like some past exam. He would rotate the questions in and out, but if you look at all the questions throughout all the past exam, you 100% guarantee A. Which is great, because I didn't understand half the course material. It's just stupid history stuff that I don't care about. But, it was a funny course. Oh my god. Attributes that kind of explain how it works. Right. I don't really know my particle physics. Something something Higgs boson, something something Higgs field, something something mass interacts with it or something. Yeah, like I feel like adults really should not let kids watch scary stuff. I feel like there is nothing to be gained from doing so. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too critical. I feel like it's kind of like not very good. It just gets them scared. Yeah, what's the benefit of watching horror movies, I guess? Building resistance, but do you really build resistance though? I feel like in the past I thought that watching scary stuff would make me more resilient to it. But in the end, it only ever made me more sensitive to it because like it's scary, right? And as a kid, you don't really know what to do with those emotions, so it kind of gets stuck with you for a bit. And then over time, you sort of develop this connection between like even anything remotely scary or horror related. You sort of remember this trauma of being really, really scared. And you never really overcome it properly until much later. Yeah, like, wait, who is that behind you? The scariest thing for a streamer will be like, oh, wait, is that your address? Wait, is that your address? Or like, oh shit, is that you or something? Is that your face or something? You know, like saying something like that. I think that'd probably be the scariest thing for a streamer. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how to render the fur that well. We are kind of getting somewhere though. At least the whole overall vibes of it is it's a lot cleaner and it kind of has that vibe. It's oh my god. To date, right? To date, no one has known how to pronounce my my alias from the past. I think I mentioned this before. No one knows how to actually pronounce this, and the reason why is because the way that I consider the canon pronunciation for this is wrong. It's entirely not related to what you're seeing here. Like the sound that you're supposed to make doesn't exist with these letters, so like no one can get it right. So it's great. It's really great. So this is like the secret between me and like the secret that I share with Ria, I guess. If I ever meet her, she would know what is supposed to be said, like how it's supposed to be pronounced. No one else in the entire world would know. But it's great. This is my Twitch name, by the way, from like the past. This is my original Twitch account that I used to stream on. For 54 streams, by the way. We are like 7 times more. Almost officially 7 times more on this channel here. Like 378. I think we streamed I streamed 54 streams. 7 times would be 378, I think. If my math is correct, but yeah. I think I forgot when I got this name, but it might have been the same time I gave Ria her name actually. I think these two names might have been created at the same time, but I don't really remember. I remember back in the day, I was trying to figure out what the name Ria. I had to go through the entire alphabet. I would put A, B, C, D, E, and then I'll figure out what kind of name I have. I have Aaron, you know, I have Alex. Of course, I would be going for female names. I actually don't really know if there's any female names. Alex is kind of a female name, I think, in recent years. And then like so on and so forth. And then I'll come up with a bunch of words. I'll keep coming out with words. Actually, in the beginning, I also kind of looked at all the letters. I just kind of get a feel for what I feel for each letter. I'll be like, oh, A kind of sounds like apple, you know. B, I don't know, boron or something. C might be chlorine or like chicken or something, you know. And I found the most neutral one back then, which was R. Because I don't have any words that come with R. Like, why would I come up with like R? Like racer, rap, I guess, and stuff like that. And then I just went to the next letter. I'm like, okay, so what about RA? What about RB? What about RC? What about RD? What about RE? And I just kept going down the entire list. And then eventually I came out with Ria. And then I checked multiple times. I was like, okay, is there anything that comes to mind? Nothing. So it's completely clean. It's a completely clean state. And then that's how I gave her the name. To make sure that nothing else sort of corrupted the name. But radiation poisoning, very scary, right? I spent $500 on a radiation detector that I don't really carry day to day now anymore. But it is a pretty good detector. It's one of those better brands for hobbyists. Did I ever play the sound on stream before? You can make it click. I don't know if it actually goes through the noise cancelling though, because it is technically noise. Let me see if I can turn on the sound here. Dang it, where is the sound? Is it this? Do you guys hear this? Oh, but it's not really playing anymore. There's like no radiation in my room, I guess. Oh, sorry, I just bumped the mic. Oh, sorry, I need to exit the thing. Nothing heard? Okay, yeah, it's probably getting noise cancelled. It's also not really playing any am I not just getting... Am I just like not having any Oh, sorry, it's playing the sound. I need to play the clicks. Wrong setting. No, it's still not playing anyways. Never mind. Someday. I mean, it's nothing special, right? It's just like all the other sort of videos that you guys watch and you hear the radiation clicking and all that. I just kind of have it. I would like to get a gas detector as well one day, perhaps. It would be nice. Like, all these invisible stuff are kind of scary. Like, you never know, right? By the time you know, it's too late already. Like, this is not actually better. In the process of cleaning, you kind of lose a lot of things. But anyways. Gas leak arc? Gas leak arc, I wasn't too scared because the gas that was leaking is like normal gas and they always stain it with something, right? So you can always smell it. It wasn't like carbon monoxide gas leak because there's no source of carbon monoxide here. But I suppose it is possible that someone... well, it wouldn't, right? They would have exploded otherwise. But I'm not sure. But I wasn't too worried. If I was, I would have been out of the house. I think I'm still more afraid of earthquakes than anything else, just because I'm on the West Coast, right? West Coast, we're like 50 years late for that, you know, once in like every 2.5 centuries earthquake. It is meant to be like magnitude 9, right? Magnitude 9, everything goes, dude. So... Well, if I die, at least I get to meet her, hopefully. And I can finally fucking sleep, dude. Holy shit. Tired. Thailand. When I think of Thailand, I think of that one incident with the trapped kids in the cave. And then they actually got the kids out, which is kind of insane. I don't know why people like going outdoors so much. Nature is really out to kill you. Like, so many things in nature is kill you. Even just like a tiny tick or something can give you like Lyme disease or something. I forgot what exactly gives you Lyme disease, but these things. And also, if you look at recent years, a lot of bacteria and a lot of fungus are getting more resilient to medicine. You just get a couple of spores in your lungs and it's never coming out, you know. So like, I had to toss out my my plastic bin the other day because my bag leaked, and then the juices got out and it got really moldy on the thing. It was like so many fuzzy things in there. I was like, yep, nope, I'm not dealing with this shit. I just wrapped the entire freaking bin up and I just tossed the entire like bin. Man, I just I'm scared, very scared. Oh man, insects and stuff. Insects, I mean, I'm not scared because they're insects. I'm scared because they would like carry disease or poison. Oh man, I just want to sit in a concrete room. I have nothing to do. Wow, okay, I'm just describing prison. Maybe not to that extent. I do have to hop off earlier so I can go deal with my other problems. I don't know how far I want to go with this. I do enjoy what we have here. Like, this is an interesting render, I feel like. It's not as clean as I usually get it to, but it is enough. It's just a face, and it's just a face. I find like the fur here is very abysmal. This is very subpar. I need to find a way to do this. But I would also like to explore this idea. Just kind of sitting there in open space, right? The entire air here is open. There's nothing up here. Not a single cloud. Just two people and the entire world, right? I really like the two people against the world kind of aesthetic. It's kind of how I felt like everything has always been like, though. So I guess maybe that's why. Yeah, I don't know. Why am I so tired? I don't know why I'm so tired. I'm sleeping more than I usually do, too. I'm hoping it's just sleep debt. If it's not sleep debt, it's quite concerning. Because, like, more serious health problems kind of start off also with just, like, general fatigue. You're just always tired for some reason. So, hopefully recover by the end of this week. So try to sleep a little bit more. Quality of sleep, yeah, that is true. That is true. I feel like it is good quality though. Like, you know, I've been talking about all the dreams before, but I haven't really been dreaming recently because I'm just too tired, right? You just kind of get knocked out by the time you wake up, it's already day. And I find that I usually tend to only dream if I am feeling cold or like I'm not sleeping properly, right? Like my posture is bad or something like that. So the lack of dreams kind of, at least for me, I feel like it's indicating that it's been decent sleep at least. I don't know if it's good necessarily, but at least better than normal. Well, nutrition is kind of abysmal. That's fine. That's whatever it is. I just need to hold out a little bit longer, hopefully. Just a little bit longer. Just a little bit longer. Yeah, just a little bit longer. Anyways, I'll hop off here for today. See you guys tomorrow. Maybe I'll continue this. Maybe I'll do the other thing. But it would just be more of these kind of, maybe not as completed pieces. But maybe like enough like to show some ideas with Ria herself. And maybe I can just post these pieces onto Twitter because I don't really care too much. But at least I can post some things. That would be nice. But yes, thank you guys for coming and talking and chatting. I really do appreciate it. It does help a lot that I have a place to sort of just rent and then bounce off some ideas. Unfortunately, Ria doesn't talk back, so maybe one day. But anyways, good night. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.